Today we're gonna learn how to paint the sun rays.
For our member of enjoyingart.com, I'm looking forward to seeing you in our fun and relaxing Friday painting together. If this is your first time to our channel, it's all about making art easy with relaxation. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on notification. The color I'm using, Winsor Yellow, is a Winsor & Newton Professional Watercolor. Winsor Red and Winsor Blue green shade. For the foundation big shapes, I'm using this 1-inch flat brush. It's gold hair. And for the details, I'm going to use this calligraphy brush. If you want to learn more about the paper, the brushes, the paints, you can take a look at the video description.
How much the ocean you're gonna live. And this is no right or wrong answer, but you need to know your purpose. And I think the birds would be the focal point. I'm gonna leave a little bit more for the cloud, for the sky. So I'm gonna have this much. It's just easier for you to just use your hand to figure it out first, right? So I'm gonna put it over here. So this would be the surface of the water, like this. Let's do one thing at a time. I'm going to draw that from the left all the way to the right. And do this step right. What about the birds? Don't worry about bird yet. You can design where you're going to put the birds, lower, higher, after all those steps. When we get to the point, we're going to design the birds. I'm going to have a piece of paper and mask the top over here. I'm going to apply the masking fluid. Put it on my plate. That should be good enough. And then I'm going to use my toothbrush. Any toothbrush is fine. So I'm going to just put the masking fluid in the toothbrush. Now I'm going to see. That's good. Now I'm going to put this down, making sure the paper is horizontal, right? Also parallel to the bottom of the page. Okay, that's good. Also block out the outside over here. Scratch the toothbrush a little bit harder. Okay, that's good enough. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to wait until the masking fluid totally dry. I'm going to start the painting. Now the masking fluid already dry, so I'm going to start using the 1-inch flat brush. And I'm going to start painting all the big shapes. So I only have 2 brushes, as you guys all know. One is just the flat brush, was the calligraphy brush. Calligraphy brush is good for all the small shapes, small details. But at the beginning, you got to use the large brush. Okay. We need to see big. We are going to ignore the small areas. Let's take a look at the whole cloud over here, how we're going to do that. I'm going to paint it from around the cloud and then paint it outside. We're going to ignore the sun rays. So let's take a look. Around the area, it looks a little bit warmer, which is more like a gray color. So I'm going to take the yellow and the red. Just remember how I mix the color. And I can make it a little bit more warmer if I want to. But I want you to squint your eye to think about how dark is the color, okay? Because if you paint it too light, you won't have enough contrast to create an impact. So I'm going to make it this dark. I'm going to start over here like that. I squint the eye again. This probably good enough. And maybe I want to make it even darker. Okay. A little bit more red. I'm going to have it a little bit darker. Just think about how dark is the color. Okay. Like that. It's okay. I'm going to use just the corner of this brush and put a little shape like that. It doesn't need to be look the shape as the photo reference. It can be a little bit different. It's okay, right?
What were the colors again? What were the colors?
Hang on.
Yellow, red, and blue.
What color I'm using? It's just the Winsor Yellow, Winsor Blue, and the Winsor Red. I'll say Windsor yellow, Windsor blue, Windsor yellow, Windsor red, and Windsor blue green shade. This is the all Windsor and Newton color. But hang on it. Okay, I want to see the process, and then you can start doing the painting, and we can talk about the details a little bit later. Okay, hold on your questions. Okay, now coming on this side, and now I'm gonna paint it around also this a little light shape over here. I want to leave that, have it open like that. Just paint around the light shape like that. And you have to keep your mind to be relaxing, otherwise your painting won't feel and look relaxing. Okay, now I'm going to coming on the top over here. Start like this, like that. Here you go. Just watch out for the edge, like that. Okay, now coming on this side. Here you go. This a little bit warmer, like that. And the top over here start having a little bit more and more blue because we're more and more away from this the warm sunlight, like that. Okay, here you go. Now I'm going to make some darker color by using just the red and the blue color, right? Here you go. I can just put the color right in here. More blue. Like that. Let the water merge together. That's okay. You don't need to feel like you need to control it. You don't really need to, because we're gonna have our next step, and the next step, when we come back, we can use more technique to control what we want. But you don't need to try to make it one step and finish the whole thing. That is the wrong thinking, because it makes you feel very unrelaxing. Okay, I'm gonna have that over here, and then start painting outside around over here. And it's getting there. That's pretty good. So far, I'm happy with what I'm seeing. Okay, now I'm going to use a lot more water and make a big puddle of paint, because this is very important to paint faster. And I'm going to have it just there. Just keep thinking about the value of the color. Okay, you're going to see how dark is the color, like that. It's okay, like that, coming in. Now I'm going to coming down over here. Ready? I'm going to coming all the way coming down over here, and like that. And now take a look at the edge. We're going to start. Now before I go into that, make sure I have this dark enough, because I see this is pretty dark, right? It's pretty dark. I'm going to have even darker color. Just drop in some color. And over here also darker, like that. Also on this side, darker. Just drop in the color. That's good, like that. Okay, now I'm going to get into the water. Here you go. Now this is the surface of the water. Now just paint it through over here all the way from left to the right. Okay, now what I'm going to do, first I'm going to make a little lighter, so to get a little water that just quickly dry through into the masking fluid area. And on this side, I'm going to have it coming in like this, have some dry brush feeling. That. Just a little bit lighter. Okay, like that. That's okay. I can add the lift of the color if I want to. Okay, I'm going to have a little bit darker color on this side. Just think about dark and light. You see the color is blue, but you need to know how dark is that color. Otherwise, you won't be able to make the painting look interesting, because contrast, it creates a nice composition. Okay, now over here. Like that. That's good. Now so put the dark color at the bottom. Now, before I'm going to clean my brush. Now it's just going to come back over here as I talk about. Don't scratch too much, okay? It just tap on it, and otherwise you will remove the masking fluid dusts like that, and have it just tap on it, remove some color like that, tap on it softly, okay, like that. That's good. Now you're going to make sure remove the accumulate wet at the bottom, otherwise the color is going to come back and make the background effect. You want to get it out. Now at this step you need to just let it go and take a little break. Now the whole paper is almost dry. You get to use the large brush for this purpose, because if you use small brush, you're not going to adjust it effectively. Like say you need lots of hair to make the edge a little bit softer. You just see that how easy, right? You just use the hair very gently and moving up out over here. Is that right? There's no panic, and you don't have to do everything in one step. It's just a little soft like this, and then clean the brush, and then come back to do a few more. But you don't want to totally have it lost the edge. It's a soft edge, right? So like this. That's already good. Now on this side, also going to make sure you have enough water, but you don't want to have lots of water. But make sure it has enough water so you can move the brush around. You see that? And you can just do it softly. Add a little bit water over here. Have a little bit softly, like that. And that's a nice shape. Okay, like this. That's okay. All right, that's pretty good. Now take a look at inside over here. You need to have a little bit softer, so you can soften. You don't want to use the calligraphy brush for this purpose, because calligraphy brush is only have a very small hair. It's not lots of hair. So more hair is go faster. Like this is good. That's softer. That's good. Now on here at the edge, also want it to be a little bit softer. Like that, a little bit. That's good. A little bit soft. So you get the feeling of the sun is very bright. That's good, right? And that's good. I'm going to have over here. I don't want to soften this edge because this edge is fine. It should have a little bit more sharper contrast. That's okay. Like this. And that's good. I'm going to take a look at up here. I'm going to have this a little bit softer. I don't want to lift up over here because even though it looks like a little bit lighter, in fact, that is the right value. I just need to paint the outside a little bit darker. Okay, so that I would come back a little bit. And now let's switch the attention to the water. Now take a look at the bottom over here. I'm going to lift up a little bit for the close to the horizon line. It just soften the edge over here. Like that. Now I use this brush like a sideways. Okay, that's good. Now I need to just put the whole brush down like this. Now I have a little bit soft coming up like this. That's good. That's how easy to modify it. Alright. And also the water over here. And this needs to be lighter. I'm gonna even a little bit lighter over here. This is that's very light. I can actually lift a little bit more after I remove the masking fluid. Okay. We are going to adding darker tone. Otherwise, it will look a little bit too average, a little bit wash off, right? Like over here, I'm going to put a lot more darker blue color. Over here, of course, maybe all over here need to be a little bit darker, like that. And also over here, I'm going to have a little bit, I like this kind of texture, but I'm going to keep a little bit of it. But I still need to have a little bit suggestions of changes at the top over here. And also the water, I'm going to make a little bit more changes as well. Now I'm going to take a lot more blue color and mix into here. Now here you go. Just take a look at where it needs to be darker over here. I'm going to use just, look at the brush over here has no color, right? So I'm going to press it down like this. You see that? It's already created a soft edge. And now coming over here, and I need to use a little bit more water and before I continue on the top over here. Now I'm going to change it to the bottom over here. I'm also going to twist the brush a little bit so I have a little bit interesting kind of transition. Now coming through, I'm going to have this a little bit darker. Coming down over here, stop. Yeah, I'm going to have a little bit like that. That's good. Now I'm going to take the same color, coming over here. You see that this it has a shape, need to be a little bit darker. I need to have a little bit more water. Here you go, a little bit more water. And coming here, coming through. Just observe. Don't do it yet. Okay, just coming over here, and then the bottom over here, I can see a little cloud, and just now we pay attention to some smaller changes, smaller shape. I'm gonna come in like this. Just use the brush, tap. It's okay. Now I'm gonna thinking about over here need to be even darker, so I'm gonna add a little bit more blue, a little bit more red. Right, this has become pretty dark. I'm gonna put a little bit darker color over here, and then here you go. Now I'm gonna take a look at create some transition. Just clean the brush, just a water. Okay, so I'm gonna do, I'm gonna soften this and have this color extended and gradually coming to the middle over here. And now just tap, use the small part of the brush like that, so you don't need to make it just flat, just a little bit like that. That's good. Now I'm gonna have a little bit softer the edge at the bottom over here. Tap. That is good enough. It's very simple. Tap, and have the color coming up over here. Now you can see a little lighter shade in the middle over here, just by making the surrounding a little bit darker, and it would create a contrast. Okay, like that. Now that's much stronger. That's good. I'm gonna have a little bit lighter shade over here. Now I'm gonna gradually moving it into the middle over here. Now put it together. Now also add a little blue color like that. Here you go. And that's good. Make this a little bit darker like that. Now over here we need to have some changes. Don't make it all flat. Okay, make some changes. That's good. Like that. And the bottom over here have a little bit soft changes. Like that. Now the sky have much richer changes. This is good. Now just use the clean brush just to move it a little bit. I'm gonna do one more thing in the water. I'm gonna start over here and just from the darker area going into the closer and closer to the reflection like that. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come closer. What I would need to do is to clean the brush, just make it a little bit lighter. Now over here too, I'm gonna get this color back over here like that. Now I'm gonna clean the brush just softly merge this together. That's good. Now on this side, also merge it together. I get the feeling of the water get lighter and lighter, like that, coming through. And actually interesting, I just use this soft brush. Make sure this what you use is soft enough brush, otherwise all the masking fluid dusts, it will be take off from here. Okay, and now I'm going to make this a little bit softer. Just tap and remove the color, and I'm going to lift it up a little bit. Here you go, like that. Have a soft transition at the bottom. Now I'm going to add some details around the light area. So I'm going to have a little blue color, start from little blue, this kind of blue. That's good. Now I'm going to looking at over here, see that? Paint around, leave a little light edge, and look at that, it has a little bit coming up like this. That's good. Now this is good. Now I'm going to paint around over here. Now you can have a nice edge. Now immediately I'm going to switch to add some red and yellow color. So I'm going to take a little yellow color first and have a little red and have a little bit warmer feeling and have a little bit yellow like that. And now add a little blue. Now here we go. Now I'm going to have it like this. See that? Now add a little water. I have even a little bit more orange color, and like in the middle over here, like that. You see that? It's a beautiful details. Now we just add to inside over here. Now I have a little bit coming in over here too. Now I'm going to just clear up all the paint and the water. Now I'm going to just lift it up and have it transition, a nice soft transition, and that shape is done. That's good. Now come back with the same color over here. Now I'm gonna add a little shape over here. See that? That's a little shape like that. Now you want to have a little bit better control over those small shape, so that's why you use a different brush than the flat brush, like that. That's good. Have a little bit soft light shape like that. Here you go. Now you can fine tune a little bit and also leave a little light color on the edge over here. And coming over here, I'm gonna have a little bit blue color, and coming over here looks like that. That's a little nice shape. So now is just the time to spend a little bit more attention to the little details. And now I'm going to just move it like this. This brush is, the hair is pretty long, and I can have a nice transition. And now over here, I'm gonna fine tune a little shape over here, fine tune a little shape over here, like that, coming through. That's easy, like that. That's beautiful. Now I can use the same color over here, add a little detail on this side. You see that? So always have a time and space for the different tasks, so you know how to divide them. Connect it from the inside a little bit warmer, getting outside a little bit more blue. Connect it together. So after you have those shapes in place, it looks very interesting. Now I have a little bit more like a real cloud, a real sunlight coming out. Okay, this is good, right? Why don't I let you do that too? Okay, I go ahead to add some interesting details. And I'm gonna actually add a little bit separation over here. Like that. Oh, when you add this a little color, it looks interesting. Like that. Oh, nice. That's the fun of painting. Okay, and the top over here, I also continue. Add a little shape over here too. Oh yeah. Nice. You don't want to try to control. You just have to go with the flow to see how it make it interesting. And actually at the bottom over here, I'm also going to this. Look at that. If you can look at it over here. This color too much contrast, so that means that it be darkened. So what I'm gonna do, mix a little bit, kind of a little gray color. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start from the right side. I'm gonna actually brush it in. I need to make it a little bit darker, like that. Need to add more color here. I want to lessen the contrast. Right, coming in. Here you go, like that. Soften it. Okay. I think this looks good. We're gonna create the illusion of the sunlight. All the paint's stable already. I'm using this 1-inch flat brush, just water, okay, nothing else, just the water. Now what I want to do, I'm gonna do the center, the big piece first, and from here, looking for the directions, and from here, just put the water on the paper, as only come down over here, and then put the water to the paper like this. Okay, like that. I'm gonna continuously apply the water to the area that I'm going to soften. Okay, like this. Looking for the direction, like that. That's good, like that. Continue. Hi. It's very wet. I just put it in the water and remove a little bit by slide it at the top of the water container, and that's it. I don't need to use my finger to squeeze anything. It's very much just water. As long as the water is not dripping down, that is how wet the brush. Now I'm gonna come in here. Welcome. And now continue over here. Now this surface all wet, very wet. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do after I applied the water, now the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start loosen. But be a little careful. You don't want to return the whole paper to be light. I'm gonna working on this group. So what I'm gonna do, it's just ready. Now I'm gonna keep it, unless you have like over here have a very small line, right? In that case you can have it like use the sideway of the brush. If you do that, if you're going on this direction like that, you see that it's very beautiful, a narrow line, but also soft. But over here in the middle, I'm gonna use mostly the whole brush, so you can remove the colors from like in a larger area. Like over here, I'm gonna come back to just make a little bit more small, skinny shape like this. Now I'm going to clean my brush, and now I'm going to squeeze all the wet, because at this step, at this process, I just lift up the wet, with the water with the paint together. So this is the simple process to create the illusion. Now I'm going to continue over here. Now I'm going to use the half of the brush. The angle keeps changing because this is the direction of the sun rays all come out from the opening, right? So aware of the direction, the angle of the line is very, very important. Now I'm going to use, so it depends on how light the line you want to create. Okay, be a little gentle, otherwise you're gonna make it another flat shape. Okay, that's good. Now over here in the middle, over here I'm gonna add a little bit water into it because I need to loosen this area. I'm gonna doing that. Don't rush this. All the color already stable, so you can take your time. Okay. Now look at this angle over here, from here coming through. Now start lifting a little color by dry the brush and come back and just lift up the color. But you have to loosen the paint so you can lift up the paint with the water. Okay, like that. Ooh, I like it. A little bit over here. I'm gonna have the light actually coming out from the middle over here. For this process, you got to use the large brush, and the small brush, it won't help you to do much. First, it's not enough hair for you to do the lifting. Second thing, you cannot control more consistent effect in the larger connection. It's good, like that. And I'm feeling kind of this is like the same kind of shape. So I'm going to make this a little bit softer. And here you go. I'm going to make this a little bit connected, like that. Now, I make the feeling a little bit better. Now, I'm going to come down all the way to the bottom over here. I'm going to soften that too. Like this. Now, take a look at the outside over here. Now, I just wet the outside so I don't want to have the water edge. Now, softly. Nice. And if you want, you can also fine tune the edge a little bit. Like that. That's good. Here you go. I'm going to have it a little bit softer. And that's good. Now the sun rays is already created. Trust your eye, it's easy. And now coming in over here, I'm going to have this a little bit connected. There's the color on the top over here and here. And connect it together. And make this a little bit softer as well. We're going to work into the water. Alright, the paper already dried, so I'm going to use my finger to remove the masking fluid on the water area. There's only a very small amount of masking fluids, so I just use my finger gently remove them. You see, that is a beautiful sparkling feeling. So thank you to the masking fluid. Now I'm going to use my calligraphy brush to create even more realistic details. Take a look at the top over here. It has a very soft line, and in the middle over here first come with a little bit warmer color, right? You have to pay attention to two things. What color is it? How you mix that color. Second thing is even more important. How dark is the color? Which is the value of the color. Now I mix a little brown color. All right. This brush is really sharp that you can see very interesting from here. Now I'm going to take a look at all the way from here to there. So it's the line we start over here. Just horizontal line. Like this. That's good. All the way coming through to the right side. And then the color get more and more blue. So I mix a little bit more blue in here as I go. Okay, here you go. Keep going. And a little bit more and more blue. And that is the And also in the middle over here has some very interesting suggestions, like a little land, a little island, a little land. I'm gonna have a little bit tap on it like that. It get the feeling like something. It's not just the horizon line. Just tap on it. That's good. I think that's good enough. Suggestions. Now the same warm color on this side. And I'm gonna come back with a little bit gray brown color. So coming out over here. A little bit higher right here. And here you go. Now I have a little line suggesting the surface, the top of the horizon line. That's good, like that. So on this side, I'm gonna soften a little bit over here. That's good, like that. Now the water look a lot better. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get a little blue color. I'm gonna get a little suggestion for the ripple of the color. And now over here, now this is a little bit closer and closer to us. It's a little bit more gray color, like this. Just tap and have a little suggestion. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Thank you. Better? Okay. Now I'm gonna continue at a little shape over here and represent the ripple. Like that. A little shadow of the water. Just tap on it. It's a little shape like that. On this side, you can see a little bit more shape. And with you do see it. This is the bottom. You see my finger? My brush is not on the paper. Do you see my finger right here? That's the bottom already. Oh, are you actually looking at... Right? Okay. Now I'm gonna continue shape the tip of the brush nicely. You just tap on it like this. If you think it need to be darker, and just make a little bit darker color. So right now, just tap on it using the same direction, like that, right? Now we add some more suggestions. It's a beautiful water suggestions. A little bit more. I'm gonna add a little red, and with this blue color now, I'm gonna have this even a little bit darker for the front, like that. Right, a little bit like that. That's good. Tap, tap, trust the brush can do the good job for you. And now I'm gonna get inside the light area. I'm gonna use a little bit brighter blue color for the top. And now I'm gonna clean the brush, get a little bit brighter blue color right over here. There's a little blue color, right? So what I'm gonna do it in the middle over here and tap. Here you go. Add a little shape, a smaller shape like this. And in the top over here, I can see a little light blue color. I'm gonna organize it a little bit better, like right over here. I'm gonna have this coming through over here and have them grouped together like that. So this very soft natural hairbrush can actually organize the color a little bit better. That's good, like that. Oh, the water looks good. Right, I think the water is finished. Now I'm going to continue working into the birds. So I'm going to do one bird at a time. If you need to, you can use a sharp pencil to draw it now, right? If you don't, just go for it. I'm going to mix a little dark color. The dark color is just the red and the blue color. And here you go. That's good enough. Now I'm going to do one bird at a time. So I'm going to first paint the body of the bird. I'm going to put this one right here and just put a little line from the beginning, from the head to the toes, like that. And then the other is coming from here. Use the side of the brush up and then moving a little bit smaller, like that. On the other side, just a little bit, showing a little bit suggestions, like that. So we done the first bird. And then we're going to do another bird over here. And you can rearrange the position if you want. Okay, put the one over here and then push it down and move it a little bit. And then on this side, move it down and then move a little bit like this way. So another bird. Okay. Now I'm going to do the bird over here. I'm going to have a little bit farther away. Here you go. Now I'm going to take a look. A little bit smaller at the end. Like this. That's good. Now I'm going to take a look at, I'm going to put this bird. Yeah, put it over here. And I'm going to have this wing coming up, the body of the bird, and this wing, and going this direction. Like that. And then I'm going to put a couple small birds at the bottom over here. You need to have something really thin. I'm going to make it even closer. Okay. I'm going to make it really, really thin, very thin line. So like right here. One. I'm going to put another one. That's very distant. If you want to add more bird, is making sure you put in the right place to get a harmony feeling in the composition. So now this painting is finished.